And by the magic of me not turning the camera on, it's now the next morning. The morning after the night before. Yeah, I haven't opened the oven yet. Let's have a look at the temperature. 77 degrees in there, so it's still a bit hot. We might open that door and let these cool down a bit. There you go. All nice and cooked. So we're going to put some colour on them today in our U-Butte home-built powder coating booth. Okay, so that's hung up in the booth, ready to go. We've got to get a bit of this crap out here, and we've got to change the colour in the gun over as well. That's the wrong colour. But in the meantime, what we'll do, turn that timer off and get this sucker heating up. It'll take about 10 or 15 minutes to get up to temperature. 200 degrees is where we want it. Typically it goes, it overshoots and it'll come back down, and bang, that's what we want. Oven's coming up to temperature. As you've seen, it's done the usual overshoot thing, so that will come back down. But it helps to have it a little bit up anyway. As you open the door, a lot of heat escapes out. So yeah, but what I thought I might show you is our little booth setup. Now how we've set this up, you'll see there's a dust extractor on the top. The idea of this is that sucks up from behind this panel here, and there's lights all the way around the outside, so you can see what the hell you're doing in here. You want a good view of what you're doing so you can cover everything up. But the idea is this sucks air from the outside here down and up under here. So the idea is that any powder will, some of it will get sucked up, a lot of it will just fall out of suspension sort of thing down on the floor, and we can just vacuum it up. You will have seen this little vacuum up here as well. Now how that works is we just have it set up on this little gadget here. So here's our hose, and we set it up and just vacuum all the floor there. But also what we've got set up, this is set up also so we can vacuum off, it's a little bit hard with one hand, vacuum off the powder off there. But there's a third thing that it does too. If we plug it into this little gizmo here, see the hose coming out the bottom of it? So that comes through here and up to this little hose here, so we can vacuum off any little corners and everything like that, which is a handy little innovation, I think. Yes, so that's just a case, and that's all sort of run off a big switch panel here, which we put on and labelled, and it's actually not a bad setup now. It's pretty good. God, I look white on that. Let's turn that light off. Oh look, I'm suddenly normal. I don't look like a ghost anymore. I put in for 20 minutes. We should be up to temperature by then. Every time I open the door, this is going to, the temperature's going to drop on that. So I need to get it up to temperature and steady there. I need the metal temperature on the wheel 200 degrees. Because it's a big, thick piece of aluminium, it's going to take a little while to get it up to that temperature. So it might say 200 degrees here, but the actual temperature of our metal is not that high. It's not going to take 20 minutes. It'll be quite a bit less than that, but once it's up to temperature, I need 15 to 20 minutes. Well, it needs 10 minutes at that time. I give it 20. Keep a very close eye on your temperature, and you should be good to go. So that's what we're doing at the moment. Anyway, I'll get some powder on the other one. I like to do them concurrently. So I start one at X amount of time, then when it's sort of starting its run, I have the next one in ready to go. So that's what we're going to do. All right, I've just had to pull those back out of the oven because guess what I forgot? So I've just been in here vacuuming all of the powder out of these. So yeah, I've pulled the other one back out of the oven. I'll give that a bit of a vacuum down, put these guys in, then it'll go back in again. I was thinking about the shot rather than what the actual job was. So, and that's what it should look like. Alrighty, so we'll go through the whole process again, but this time done correctly. The hard part is actually getting it into the little corners. For some reason, the static doesn't seem to work in corners, so that's the hard part. And down next to the plugs that we've got there, so yeah, that's what I'm just doing now. I'm not too worried about the this around the top, because all of this top surface is going to be machined off, but I do need to get it right around the stud holes. So yeah, I've got to sort that out. Where's my little plugs? And of course, anytime you bump it, you know, we're going to have to redo that anyway. So plug all these up. Now I'm going to put them both at the same time now, so because they're both done. Let's finish this off. All right, that's it for the satin black. Let's go and chuck them in the oven. So we'll start up the timer again. Keep an eye on our temperatures here. As you can see, it's down to about 140 odd. So it will take a little time to come back up again. With those two cold wheels in there too, it drops the temperature. So it's all about temperature and time at this stage of the game. If you go too hot, you'll cook the stuff. It buggers it up. And if you go not long enough, it doesn't actually open the pores of the metal so that the powder can actually stick in there and fuse with the metal itself. So, which is why powder coat's so bloody hard to get off. But yeah, now it's just a case of waiting. Alrighty, timer's on. So what we need to do now is the Technos are not satin black, they're gold. So we've got to get this absolutely spotless, clean, as you can see, so we need to virtually dismantle the gun. When you're doing guns too, clean it, the best thing to clean is this thread in here, because it just gets built up with powder and whatnot, and it, yeah, buggers it all up. So that's the next job, clean it all up. Clean, 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 clean. That's what it's all about. Okay, my alarm's just gone off, my temperature's bang on. Time to pull them out. Don't forget that 200 degrees. So without gloves, it's gonna hurt. Oh, that looks good. Okay, we'll let them cool for a little bit. One of my centers popped out, that doesn't matter. Okay, trying to put the Phantoms in, and away we go again. Okay, what I've had to do here is I was blowing the powder in, but it wasn't going down, so I had to get in a little knife and cut out the bottoms of the holes from the other side. I was blowing it in. Now I can get it both sides, because I need that gold to go all the way down. What was happening is it was blowing into the hole, and then because you use a bit of air pressure, just circling around and coming back out, it wasn't reaching the bottom of the hole. So bit of buggerising around. All right, the Phantoms are in. This is one that I actually did this the other day. So this is now ready for machining. So I've got a mate of mine that does the machining, so we machine the tops off the spokes there, and then basically it's a final assembly, and away we go. As well, you don't put leaves, I don't know if you can see that, but there's the adhesive off the tape stays on, so that needs to be cleaned off. The whole lips need to be done. So there's still a fair bit of work in them, but yeah, they're ready for machining now, which is good. Okay, so as I explained in the other one, and I'll go over it again, the thing you need to do from this point is keep everything clean. It's all about keeping it clean. So that's why I'm wearing gloves. What can happen if you are moving these around and doing whatever with them? You need to keep fingerprints and stuff off them, which I can just see some here. Because when you put them in the oven, that can bake that fingerprint into the lip. Wear a pair of gloves, make sure they're clean. That's why disposables are good, and just go and get another pair and whack them on after you've been, I don't know, checking the diff oil. Yeah, you don't want any oils on them or anything. You want this as clean as possible. We tend to clean them as well with IPA, it's really hard to say. Isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. God damn it! IPA. IPA cleaner, it works really good because it evaporates really quickly. With the others, I showed you how we did the, measured it up on a spoke. This one's a little bit easier because it's got a gap in the spoke, you'll see just here, which is a little bit hard to see. Where the original valve came in and sort of went up and did a little 45, I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to put it in the step here. Now the centers on these are quite a bit bigger, which means the step is quite a bit smaller. So I'm going to have to eyeball these ones. I haven't got anything to line it up with. So, but you will still need possibly a ruler. You need a ruler for doing these to measure it halfway. This has got a smaller step. How big is the step in this thing? It's only about 15 or 18 millimeters high. The valve will only just fit on here. So I've basically got to get halfway across there, and I'm going to line it up where the original valve was, because that will line it up on the center itself where they originally were, which is right there. So you will need a rag, a nice clean rag, keeping everything clean, wiping off your fingerprints and your whatever you drool or whatever has ended up on them. You'll need centre punch, marker, hammer for the centre punch, not necessarily in that order. I like to do it with 3 drills, pilot, hole, decent sort of 10.5 for the valves that we use. And then I use this little gadget here for cleaning up the hole. Takes all the dags off and gives it a little lead in so everything sort of fits nice. And away we go. These guys are ready to take over for machining, so we just got to do a little bit of prep on them, which is going to consist of peeling off the tape and adding some tape around the outside here, just for protection. How can you tell if your powder coat's good? If you get the tape, see it's got a bit of powder coat on it, fold it right in half and it doesn't peel off. Perfecto. That all looks good. Only 3 more to do. Just as I finished peeling them all, notice they're not here. Yeah, my mate with the CNC lathe turned up, brought the last wheels that I have machined, which is these guys here. Timing perfection. Picked up the other ones, the Equipo ones and the Techno Phantoms, and took them with him. So yeah, saved me a trip. So yeah, just got to wait for those to come back now, and Bob's your uncle. And then it's basically just a final clean them up and put valves in and stuff like that. Yeah, good to go. And the white ones seem to be coming out pretty good too, so might be on a winner here. Isopropyl alcohol. God damn it!